Bum, 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 bum. Eric,
Hey, Tellman.
how's it going, dude?
It's going good.
You know what time it is?
It's time to get shit done.
It is time to get shit done. Welcome to the Get Shit Done Show, episode 38. Thanks for catching that earlier. I had a typo in the description that said 37, which was, of course, yesterday. So
Right.
episode 38, February 7th, 2025. Positive focus. Actually, so I'm gonna give you a positive focus wrapped up in a technique. And I learned this one, like many of the amazing entrepreneurial tips and tricks that I learned from Dan Sullivan and Strategic Coach. So earlier, before the show, we were texting a little bit back and forth about what we should focus on and what we should talk about. And one of the things that you mentioned, I'm just pulling it up in front of me right now, is I was thinking about how to fine tune and dial things in more, optimizing and uncovering any unseen blind spots, not in one specific area, but across the board in all areas of my business. And that, though, is a very real issue, it's also an example of blind spots sabotaging you, of you allowing the blind spots to completely control your focus.
Okay.
And so one of the easiest, so first of all, like, you can't get rid of blind spots. Okay. We can only focus on so many things so clearly. Like, the more clearly and absolutely you focus on one thing, it's almost like more blind spots.
That's true. Yeah.
You like put the blinders. The trick is to focus, but then to widen the scope of your awareness. To be kind of like focused with soft eyes on everything. But it's also, I mean, it's kind of like, it's all Zen and whatever, right? It's just kind of like, well, what the hell do you actually do with that? So here's what you do with it is that instead of trying to focus on uncovering the blind spots, why don't we actually focus in more clearly on what needs to be done to move forward, right? And so the easiest way my response, I think, was something along the lines of, like, what did I say? I said something flippant to you. I said, there's no across the board. It's all in the details. So basically, it's Friday.
It is Friday.
It's Friday morning, end of the week, end of the 5-day work week. Okay. What are the 3 most important things for you to get done today after this show is over? So we're broadcasting right now. That's already done. So in the next 24 hours, right? Not even between now and when you go to bed. What are the 3 most important things for you to get done in your business in the next 12 hours or however long, 12 to 16 hours, depending on your workday, right?
I need to make 6 to 12 new webinar slides with some new elements that I'm going to be adding into my next webinar. I need to update my webinar registration page with updated details for the next webinar. And I need to start promoting that webinar into my Facebook group and on my profile page, and also to my email list.
Okay. So, when you say 6 to 12 new slides, how many sections are you adding in?
Like different new topics?
Yeah. Like, is it one component, 2 components?
Yeah, it's one main component. It's just an element of a story that I want to incorporate.
Add in story slides to Keynote, right?
Yep.
Okay. So You have to add, you want to, so 6 to 12 is fine, but it's also irrelevant. Like you can add in as many slides or as few slides as you want. You need to get the story slides added into your keynote. One way you could do it in one slide, and then you could break it up into a bunch of slides afterward. You know what I mean? But like if you had to, you could do it in one slide, right? Number 2 is update registration pages. Great, simple,
easy. It'll take me 10 minutes at most.
Max.
Yeah.
Promote webinar. So the problem with promoting webinars, it's too vague. Okay.
I need to create content.
Nope. Too vague.
Nope. Okay. Too vague. What would be an example of more specific than creating a piece of content?
Send promo email to list. That's an action. You're going to write and send a promo email to your list. That is something you can put on a to-do list.
Right. Okay.
Promote webinar. When are you even going to be done with that? There's no end. There's no beginning. There's no end. There's no specifics. It's too vague.
There's no end. I guess specifically it would be creating a piece of content in my Facebook group and on my page with the...
Great. Are you going to do a written post? Are you going to do an image, or are you going to do a podcast? Or are you going to do a live stream? Or are you going to do a video? Or are you going to do a reel? Are you going to do a story? What the fuck are you going to do?
I'm probably going to do a written post, and I'll probably do some short video clips for my stories.
How many video clips?
1 to 3.
1 or 3?
3.
How about 1?
Okay, 1.
Okay, so here's the thing. So you can build this out later, but send promo to email list. That's an item. That's one of your items.
Yep.
Do a written Facebook post. Great. If you want to post it on your personal and your group and your page or whatever you want to do, that's up to you, right? And 1 video clip. Right? So you could call those 3 things all within the promote webinar category, but like I mean, I would call those 3 separate tasks. Okay? And so I would say add the story slides in, update the web page, promote the webinar, starting with send the email to the list. Start with that and use that email as the topic, as the focus of your video and your written post. Have it be like based on the same copy.
All right.
Same idea. You don't have to come up with 3 ideas. It's one idea.
Right.
The other thing is I would definitely change the order. I would update the web page now, or, as soon as
that needs to be first, because if I'm sending the email,
I would send the email second.
Yep.
Do your story slides to break it up a little bit, and then follow it up with some social posting, right? Like do your written post, do your video clip, and if you feel like doing more, do more. But the question is, what are the 3 critical tasks for the day? Okay, the 3, like there are a bunch of different productivity experts out there and people have productivity systems, and there have been for decades, right? There's always your, supersonic time management guy or whatever. And so the idea is, what are the 3 biggest, highest leverage things or activities that you can do in order, in the next 24 hours? And so your initial list is a good initial list. You're going to get better and better at this, at doing higher and higher leverage things. But like, doing an hour-long interview podcast, like, and this is like most important stuff above and beyond your day-to-day. Okay. And the downside, the upside to doing a daily live stream like this with Get Shit Done is that like you get a lot of exposure, you have a lot of interaction with your audience, you really get good at broadcasting, all these things. You create a ton of great content.
Right.
The downside is now it's a part of our day. Now it's part of the routine. So now we have to do extra stuff on top of
exactly
doing a daily hour-long broad. What the heck, right? Like the responsibility never ends. No, it's a deal. It's a deal. So when doing the daily broadcast becomes the normal, then how do you push yourself beyond your comfort zone when you're already doing something like completely ridiculous, like doing a daily streak of something hard, something that takes juice. So I would say, update your webinar registration page, send out your email, like write and send your email, and add the story in. And so you said you were recently introduced to the Pomodoro technique.
Yeah.
How familiar are you with it?
Not super familiar. A friend, I saw a post that she had made about it, and I commented that sounds really cool and I want to try it. And I haven't yet, but my understanding, it's like do an hour of work and then do it like 15 minutes of like something else, like working out or whatever, and then do another hour of focused work.
Cool.
Yeah.
Personally, in most cases, I need less than an hour, or I get distracted, right? And so, work parties help me stay focused for longer periods of time than I normally can on my own. Same idea. I came up with many years ago when I was working with a ton of ADD clients. I'm not sure when the Pomodoro technique was created, probably before I was born or something, who knows? But I call it intentional distraction, right? And so if you have a naturally distractible mind and you find yourself going from thing to thing to thing and like losing attention and focus and just getting distracted all day long, doesn't matter if you're diagnosed with ADD, doesn't matter if you drink too much coffee, doesn't matter whatever. There are a lot of things that you can do in order to improve your mental focus, improve your physical grounding and focus. But even if you don't do any of those things, if what you do is you set a timer to intentionally distract yourself, so you make a list of 5 to 7 things that you want to get done in the next few hours, okay? And then you set a timer, and maybe you start with a 10-minute timer. This is great for people with ADD and hyperactivity, especially kids. And so you set a timer and set it for 10 minutes, and then you crank on item number 1 for 10 minutes, dings, and then you go to item number 2, and then you go to item number 3, and then you go to item number 4, and then you go to item number 5. And if you have to, you throw something fun in there, right? And like in your list. And if you find that 10 minutes is easy, move to 11 minutes. If you find that 10 minutes is too long and that you find yourself like wandering into the other room, that instead of like, cleaning your desk or whatever it is you're supposed to be doing, then make it 9 minutes, 6 minutes, try 5 minutes, right? Yep. So work with what you got. And what you'll find is the more you practice it, the longer your attention span and focus will be. And you're constantly racing against the clock, right? And ideally change up the type of activities that you're doing. Like if one is staring at a spreadsheet, balancing your checkbook or something, then like after that, do something like do the dishes, right? Or take out the garbage, right? And then after that, maybe do something like record a YouTube video, right? And then after that, do something like make your bed or whatever, or make a phone call,
Okay.
We have to connect with somebody. So, point being, one of the very best ways to overcome imposter syndrome, which is the focus of today's episode, actually, is to actually just focus on knocking out some work. It sounds so ridiculous, but if you're caught in your head, like realize that you're not taking action, not consistently moving in the direction of your goals, or maybe today you're just like, bleh, you're not doing anything. You're like stuck. Yep. You're like stuck in a dark cloud. Then one of the best things you can do is make the list of the top 3 things, put on a timer and go, right? Because when you have a direct target right in front of you, it doesn't really matter whether or not you have imposter syndrome. If you got work to do, you got work to do, right? And so those top 3 things, I would encourage everyone watching to write down your top 3 things that you need to get done today. top 3 things that I need to get done today, because I haven't actually made this list. 1, send email. Strangely enough, I've been neglecting sending email to my list.
Okay.
To list. 2, I need to record new upsell video for coaching club. 3, I need to record new coaching club video for previous clients. Those are the 3 most important things that I need to do that aren't already scheduled in on my calendar today. So that there's a very if you're not making as much money as you want, make sure your top 3 items are money making activities.
Right. Okay.
Also, so like, is it more important to do the 6 to 12 new slides for your keynote today? Or is it more important to send private messages to 100 people in your Facebook group?
Right. And maybe get a handoff offer on my thank you page with some kind of affiliate offer that's relevant to my audience.
Yeah, that doesn't mean you shouldn't get the slides done.
Right.
But in terms of top priority, like needle moving stuff.
Yep.
Because, again, you could stick a slide in your slideshow that says, tell cucumber story here, or whatever the story is you're going to tell. Like, I don't have, there's no cucumber story to the best of my knowledge. But like, I'm just, whatever the story is, right? Like,
right.
So again, that doesn't mean don't have good slides, but
right.
Just ask yourself, is that, are those things the top priority, or are those things I'm probably going to knock out anyway? Right. That kind of stuff.
True.
So cool. And of course, when you have this list of 1, 2, or 3 items, great list to bring into a work party, right?
True.
A work party.
Yep.
So that's my positive focus is
cool.
The way this technique works, it's very simple. Here's how you take it to the bank is you get a little notebook, ideally one of those little pocket-sized spiral-bound notebooks like Top Spiral,
right, like this one, but miniature.
Mini.
Yeah. Yep.
And you leave it next to your bed, and in the morning, well, as you go to bed at night, you flip the page and you write down, I think I've told you this before, you write down the 3 most important things for you to do tomorrow.
Yep.
And then, but before you flip the page, you look at yesterday's results and you cross off the things you got done, unless you already crossed them off throughout the day, right? And then if there's something on there that you didn't get done, chances are good it should carry over as the first thing to do tomorrow. Okay. Or if it's not actually important, cross it, then drop it and move on. Right. Like either do it or don't do it, but don't keep it carrying over day after day after day. Right. That's not going to cut it. So, but the point is, write down the top 3 most important things that you need to do as you're going to bed at night and go to sleep. Your brain will work on them all night. It will solve problems and give you inspiration and get you prepared and ready to knock those things out. And then, you look at that thing first thing in the morning when you hit the ground running, and in the first 1 to 3 hours of your day, those are the things you're going to get done.
Right.
Right. And the rest of the day is like cleanup. Right. So really, and if you need to schedule in a work party in order to make those happen, then do a work party. It's great. It's great. So very practical, tactical, usable tip in order for you guys to immediately have a day-to-day action item shit list and increase your productivity. That's my positive focus. What's your positive focus?
Cool. Yeah. So my positive focus is noticing the results from becoming more consistent with hypnosis sessions.
Mm.
I kind of had fallen off of them completely for a while, and I was really, really noticing the effects of that, just kind of like diminishing levels of self-belief. My goals started like shrinking, and yeah, just not feeling very expansive.
Right.
Yeah. And now becoming more consistent with it. It's not quite daily, although I feel like at this point I'm noticing the effects of it to where I need to commit to doing them daily to really stay on track with it. And yeah, I'm just feeling an expansiveness in my goals, in my level of self-belief, in just the conviction that I can do this and I am doing this.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome. So what is this
This is
for you?
right. It's, creating something bigger than myself, my business, and
What are you creating?
I'm creating a network marketing team. I'm
Okay.
creating financial abundance and helping others achieve that as well.
How are you going to help them?
By bringing them into my network marketing team and showing them the ropes and how to get the results themselves.
Okay. Think about it this way.
Okay.
And this is one of the reasons I'm urging you not to just do webinars about the comp plan and the product. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So historically, in the greater world of internet marketing, I've been part of that community for over 20 years, right? I started in 2003. It's 2025, over 20 years.
Yep.
And there are affiliates, and then there are super affiliates. And there's a key difference.
What was the second thing you said?
Super affiliates.
Super affiliates. Okay.
There are affiliates, and then there are super affiliates. And an affiliate, like the difference is like a 10x in income for starters. Okay. Like super affiliates make 10 to 20 times more money than affiliates.
Right.
And super affiliates have a tribe and a following that care about them as a human being, that want to follow them, that feel cared by and appreciated for by their leader, and want and have some sort of identity and connection to the rest of the community that the leader, that the guru, that the marketing celebrity has built. Okay. So it's kind of like, think about musicians.
Right.
So let's say you got a celebrity musician that's part of a very successful band. And maybe it's like a classic 5-person band, vocalist, guitarist, bassist, percussion, and something else.
Keyboardist,
accordion, who knows, right? Like, really successful band. And there are several members of the band, and they play for a decade together and like make $1 bajillion. And then the brand doesn't officially break up, but they kind of lose steam, and the members all go and join other bands and start side projects. And pretty soon, like, you're following a couple of the members of the band, even though they have their own individual thing going on now. And you're still a super fan of the band, but you really like the individuals. And maybe you really like the lead of the original band, the singer, songwriter, front person for the band. And now they're a soloist, and or they've gone on to work with a different band or whatever. And you follow them through their career for decades, and you listen to all their music. Right? Like, this has happened time and time again with musicians throughout the music industry. Okay. So Does it really matter who their record label is? No. Does it really matter who prints the t-shirts that they sell? No. Doesn't really matter that much. Maybe they're really nice t-shirts though, but still the best t-shirts. But still, it's really about the band's logo.
Right.
Okay. And the fact that you love the musician and the music that they create.
Yep.
And so what I'm asking you isn't, are you going to make money? I'm not asking you what you're going to get. I'm asking you what you're creating. And it's a hard question to answer. Like, I'm putting you on the spot. All right. And
Okay.
But this is the challenge, is that what are you creating that is greater than, that supersedes whatever it is you're selling?
Right. A powerful personal brand.
To what end? Yes, but like what I'm saying is, how are you helping people? Like, what is the thing that, like, what is the thing that you're creating that people love, that they want to be part of what you're doing because of how you're helping them?
Right. Okay.
Right. So again, let's say that you build a team, but if the team is entirely focused on the comp plan and the product, and you get kicked out of Kangen, you're screwed. Okay. If Kangen goes belly up and no longer is available in America or whatever, like,
right. Yeah, I see what you're talking
done.
about.
You're toast. There's nothing you can do, because all they care about is the money that they're getting through the freaking comp plan. They do not give a crap about you.
Yeah.
Okay. And so this is like the pure path to prosperity. What is it if Kangen doesn't exist?
Right. I feel
what is it, even
essence,
if you stop doing network marketing?
Right. I feel underneath all of that is a message of personal growth and development and mindset shifts and hacks and things, like lots of deep inner work that I've done that I can share with people to really help them to identify what they're trying to achieve in life and help breathe some belief into them and show them how to get from where they are to where they want to go.
So, but how? Like, what? Like, this is, I'm asking these questions kind of because I know you don't know the answer entirely. Like, we're grabbing at them, we're grasping at straws a little bit, but it's like, there needs to be an extremely compelling reason for people to follow you. There are a lot of gurus out there. There are a lot of people making a lot of promises, and many of them aren't delivering on them. We were having a conversation about one of those people earlier today. Right. And, you could say there are a lot of charlatans, and I'm not saying that people are intending to be charlatans. The problem is that people are making big promises about the world that they want to create for themselves and for others in the future, but they don't have the internal capacity to follow through on doing the hard work and doing the boring stuff and all the not fun, not sexy stuff that it takes in order to make these lofty promises a reality, right? And so if you're on a mission to help blank do blank, okay, tell these types of people do this type of thing, and here's why, like, then everything else is a stepping stone toward that end goal, including Kangen, including network marketing. They're stepping stones on the way to something bigger and more important, right? More significant, more meaningful.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. It's just the vehicle that can take them there, and it doesn't have to be that specific vehicle. It could be something else if that didn't exist.
Right.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I like that.
And I don't know that this should be the thing, but I mean, it's the thing that has come up in conversation so far, which is like, I don't know, creating peace and prosperity for single moms. You know, like what an interesting, like to create financial abundance and prosperity for single moms through network marketing. Like what an interesting like message, right? And
right.
You have, I mean, yeah, that, and I mean, as we've discussed, you're obviously not a single mom, right? And
right.
so,
Yeah, I'm not convinced that's my niche at all.
maybe it's not, but it
Yeah.
is one of the patterns that you saw in successful Kangen distributors.
Yeah,
right?
there is a lot of single moms in network marketing and Kangen.
Yeah, I mean,
Yep.
so that's a pattern you saw. It's certainly not the only. And
Right.
so again, go out and interview more Kangen leaders and see what you can do
Yep.
to find that pattern. But the imposter syndrome issue, it's kind of like, well, actually, I'm gonna put up Chase the Heat, Johnny Scoville's.
Hey, Johnny.
Johnny says, "This bums me out. I can't stay, and I suffer from imposter syndrome in a big way." And Johnny is totally a hot pepper superstar. Like, this guy's a hot pepper eating super celebrity.
I remember we did a live stream all together once, long while back.
That's right. A very, very successful chili head. And I appreciate your willingness to say that you publicly suffer from imposter syndrome. Do you, like you're one of the most like open and like you're just very honest. You're very open and vulnerable in a certain way. It's very refreshing. So I'm looking forward to having you on the show soon, dude. Thanks for chiming in. It's great to have you here. So Eric, for you, how does imposter syndrome show up? Like where, when I mentioned that might be a good thing for us to focus on, where does that kick you in the nuts? Where does it throw you off, or how?
Right. So it shows up for me like I am, moving in the direction that I've set for myself, and I have this target off on the horizon that I'm aiming for, and I'm, helping people to set targets for themselves, and I haven't necessarily hit my target yet.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I've hit some smaller targets along the way, but the big pie in the sky target is still there on the horizon.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So it's a really interesting conversation. So we were talking about super affiliates and affiliates earlier. And so basically a super affiliate is an affiliate with a mission that they convey regularly and that inspires people. An affiliate is somebody that's just trying to build a list and sell some crap to some people. Okay. And the difference is, in the case of a super affiliate, the subscribers, the followers, they care what you have to say because you're saying something that's important, relevant, and helpful to them in some way because you actually care about them versus just trying to sling your shit.
Right.
Okay. And so when I'm asking you, what are you building? I'm saying, what is, like, aside from achieving financial prosperity for yourself,
right, helping other people
outside of just yourself, who cares?
Right.
And when you can answer that question, then so watch. Okay. So I'm not a sports fan. I'm not a sports guy, but I'd like you to imagine that you really liked playing soccer growing up. Maybe you did. Did you? I didn't.
I was on the soccer team.
Okay,
at one
great.
point.
Great. So
I'm not a
imagine,
sports guy either.
imagine if I know we don't talk about sports. That's how I know. So, or like you don't bring up sports. That's how I know you're not a sports guy. But like, imagine if there had been a twist in your destiny, and you had gotten really, really into soccer. Okay, and like you weren't good enough to like get a scholarship to college, but it's a lifelong passion. You really like it.
Yep.
And you enjoyed playing it as a kid. You bonded and connected with the coach or the coaches. Like they set a good example for you. It was a wholesome experience, whatever. And then as you got older, through junior high and high school, you found yourself in a mentorship role, and you would help new players, like show them the ropes, help them to feel welcome, help them move past like the uncomfortability and the working out and the, getting used to the training schedule and, practice and all these things, and learning how to deal with it when the other, members of the team give you crap and all this kind of stuff. And then you go to college, and maybe you play on the team in college, and same kind of thing repeats itself, right? Same kind of vibe, and you really enjoy it. And after college, you get a job, and you work for a few years, and maybe you have a kid, and then you realize I really should be playing more soccer. And so you re-engage with soccer, and you find a local pickup team, group or team, and you start playing on the weekends, and your love for soccer is rekindled, and you realize, you're friends with the athletic director at the local high school, and you heard that there's no soccer coach for next year, and so you're like, I'm gonna volunteer, and I'm gonna teach these kids soccer because like I love it. It changed my life. It's been like the one thing that I've come back to time and time again, that where I feel good, right? And it helps me to it's kind of like and so I want to share that with people. And so you start coaching, and maybe you start writing down your experiences after practice of what the day was like, and slowly this turns into a journal, and you capture the different like strategies and techniques that you use to teach your team. You end up turning into a playbook over time that you share with your new students and your new people that join your team, and the new athletes that come in, and maybe you even like print it up, and you give them the such and such high school soccer playbook or something, right?
Right.
And it's like a little handbook, a little how to have fun and win at soccer, whatever, right?
Okay.
And as time goes on, you're like, I could help a lot more people. I'm going to start a Facebook group about how to crush it with soccer. I'm going to call it Soccer Crush, whatever. I don't know. And like, clearly I don't know soccer. And so, but then you start a Facebook group all about how to like play soccer and crush it. Why? Because I've loved soccer since the 3rd grade. That's why. Let me tell you a story. And right. And now people are like, I've loved soccer since the 3rd grade too. I want to learn soccer from you. Right. So now you're helping people to like stay in shape and to learn soccer and to bond and connect, and you're teaching leadership, and you're helping people around something that you genuinely care about, you genuinely love, that you've been doing for 3 decades without getting paid a dime because you love it. And then you realize that you could start a soccer school group. You realize that you could sell a soccer ebook. You realize you could start a how to be an amazing athlete soccer coaching program. You realize that you could start a coaching program for coaches to build and create amazing teams. You could create an entire soccer empire, build an email list, build a following, build a membership site, build a coaching program, and then lo and behold, the world's first sports goods MLM, the most amazing soccer balls you'll ever see in your entire life. And let me tell you guys why you should join whatever it is. The sporting good network marketing company. And so now, like, you are turning your soccer following into a network marketing following. You're turning your soccer following into ebook buyers. You're turning your soccer following into your paid school group community. And it all is because you want to spread the love of soccer. And so that's what I'm looking for. That's what we're looking for you, is because
got it. Yeah.
There's no imposter syndrome there.
Right.
Okay. Because you're doing something meaningful to you and the world. That, like, why? That's your story. Your story is why. So you're not making up a story and using that to sell freaking water ionizers.
Right.
You're finding the story that's already there, and maybe you're going to sell water ionizers, and maybe that'll shift. Maybe you'll sell something else.
Yep.
But what would you be doing?
Yeah, I mean, what I mentioned earlier, it's the personal growth and development journey. It's the mindset shifts and hacks. It's the journey that I've experienced, and I would love to help other people experience too, of going from knowing that what you're doing now is maybe not what you ultimately want to be doing in life, and like identifying what needs to change and sharing tools that have been extremely helpful to me to get from where I was to where I am now to where I'm aiming for in the future.
You know, dude, so you have this group that now has over 300 members.
Yep.
And they're all theoretically interested in prosperity. And a bunch of them are theoretically interested in network marketing.
Potentially.
But does your description of your group talk about network marketing?
Oh gosh, I don't think it explicitly talks about it. Yeah.
If I were you, I would go into the description of your group and I would talk about network marketing and Kangen.
Okay.
But that's not gonna. I mean, that's a slight shift, but it'll help to filter people. But the point is that you have this group of people that is fresh. It's growing every day, and it's new.
Yep.
And you're posting regularly. You're posting in your group more than I'm posting in my group.
Okay.
And what I think is that you need to figure out one or more ways that you can help these people now in a way that makes a difference, that positively impacts their life in the frame of building a business in network marketing. Okay. And so I would just want to ask you right now, what are some of the ways, and no wishy-washy. Okay. I'm going to give you some examples first. Okay. So if you were to say, Tellman, what are some of the ways that you can help people in the Get Shit Done group that you're not posting too often enough? I would say this. I'd say number one is I could do a hypnosis session. I could do one every single day in the group in order to help people with their mindset. I could teach self-hypnosis in order to help people with their mindset. I could absolutely teach people how to do a webinar to generate leads and sell stuff. For example, I can teach people how to write better copy, right? I can teach people about all the principles with Get Shit Done, whether it be work parties or accountability or the shit list, any of these components.
Yep.
I can help people to set larger, more compelling goals with my goal getting system process, right? Clearer, bigger, more motivating goals. As some examples. So is there anything that pops into mind for you that you can do to directly help your people, regardless of Kangen, regardless of whether they invest in you or in Kangen? How can you help your people in their journey right now? What are some of the ways
in their journey of
as network marketers, whether they're just getting started or whether they're trying to get better?
Yeah, exactly.
How can you help them as budding entrepreneurs?
Yeah, yes. I can help them with short form video skills and strategy. That's something I'm really good at. And
how to promote yourself with short form video. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. I could teach people about like how to live stream and get over your block with it and just do it and give a basic framework of, introduction and body of what you're going to talk about with, if they have a call to action at the end, just basic framework, and help people like prod them to do the thing and show up and like talk about how that deer in the headlight feeling of you've never done it before, you haven't done it in a long time. That's totally normal. And most people go through that and you just do it anyway. I could teach people about content writing, like how to craft compelling written posts. And yeah, I guess a lot of just social media content creation is what comes up for me. It's something I've had a lot of practice with, and I feel like I'm pretty good at it, and taking, good pictures and some strategy with how to get people to view your stories, like your story stack of, have something really eye-catching on the top of your stack that's not business related to draw people in, and you'll get, hundreds of viewers as opposed to maybe 10 or 30. Right. And then you get hundreds of viewers through all your business stuff that you stack under that. So yeah, there's a ton of content creation stuff that I could teach people about that would directly help them build their network marketing businesses. And then also, yeah, mindset stuff. That's something, on a different path, but related.
So here's the thing. So all the things that you just mentioned are good, and they're relevant, they're timely, they're things that people are interested in right now, and they will also fade away. They're temporary strategies for the most part. Over the next few years, they'll probably be replaced by something that's working better, right?
Okay.
And so that doesn't mean don't teach it. It's very tactical, and it's very educational, right? They may or may not ever take action on it, but if they watch your video and they feel like they get something out of it, and maybe they make a post, maybe they don't, whatever, that's cool. So those are absolutely some good tools in your tool belt. You should use those.
Okay, but underneath all of that, there's the fundamentals that you put into all of those things.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. Yep. What I'm saying is, earlier you were talking more about, you ended with, well, then there's the mindset stuff, but you were talking more about your personal journey and the self-development that you've gone through. Yep. And I'm curious about, do you have exercises or techniques that you could bring people through that you've gone through that to help them gain more insight, more understanding, more openness? Yeah. Do you have any of that kind of stuff that you can teach people, or is it more for you currently, like social media tactical stuff?
Yeah, I guess I don't have anything really built out and developed in the personal growth and development stuff. I mean, I could share about my journey. I could share about tools that I've used and things that I've learned, but yeah, I don't have
cool
something to to give them so much yet.
Yeah. So, great. So I would highly recommend that you start that you today first make a list yourself, and then I would ask ChatGPT to help you build it out and see if it can help you come up with some things that you might be missing.
Okay.
To build a good long list of cool things that you can share with people and or teach people, and or processes that you can bring them through, if there are any, that will help them to achieve higher levels of prosperity in their life. Theoretically, as network marketers, but as you know, promoting yourself in any way, shape, or form, you know, these all apply, right?
Yep.
And so if you start there, and in the meantime, use every single post as an opportunity to ask them how you can help them and what they're looking for right now, what they need help with right now, and you know, to really always open it for questions and suggestions on you know, on how you can help them the most. That will start giving you feedback over time, you know, on new ideas that you can share with them, right? Because they'll want to know your opinion on things. But to start, make a list of 20 or 30 different cool things that you could teach and just start doing one every day. Okay? Like, start there. Because if you teach your people how to write better copy, if you teach your people how to do TikTok videos, if you teach your people how to do stories, if you teach your people how to do reels, if you, you know, and blah, 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 to the best of your ability, and where to send them, like, pretty soon, some of those people are going to get some results. They're going to come back in, you know, and so on. So I would definitely say teach people these things like one little tip at a time, you know, on how to continue to build, and use aspects of your story as to how you ended up learning this thing. And that's why you're sharing it with them here today. Right. But again, if you're teaching people how to do something that you know how to do and have had good results with in the past, and you know you've had good results with it in the past, will you have imposter syndrome while you're teaching them? No. So, like, I've been playing the didgeridoo since I was 19 years old, and I'm pretty good at it. And I've taught at least 30 people in my life, more than that, probably 50 people how to play the didgeridoo. And like, if I wanted to, I could totally start a how to play the didgeridoo business. And like, if I had to, I could probably make my sole income completely switching everything over to how to play the didgeridoo, because like, I've been doing it since since my first couple weeks of college. And you know, but people in internet marketing or are interested in personal development, self-improvement, they don't necessarily give a crap about the didgeridoo. So like, how would I incorporate something like the didgeridoo, something I know how to do that's cool, but not necessarily related? Well, I would use that as and I do use that as a pattern interrupt. So it's a great way to open a video.
I've seen you do that. Yeah.
Great way to open a video because nobody knows what it is. You know? What's that noise? What's that thing? You know? And so you don't have, you don't have to take your skills and abilities and use them to teach. You can use them for other purposes too. So when we've talked in the past about cooking and recipes, I mean, you started doing this with your recipe book. Is you can absolutely teach people how to cook amazing food with ionized water.
I could, yeah.
Right. Like, and that, like, you could do your recipe of the week, and that is like, you can't make this without ionized water. It's just not the same. So for those of you in Kangen, you can make this and send your pictures in, and tell us how it turned out. And for those of you who are not, what are you waiting for? Give me a call, join Kangen so you can get your own water ionizer and have, and make money by selling a truly amazing product, absolutely pure water,
Right.
And so doing as an example, doing a weekly cooking show is a super cool way of selling all sorts of stuff. Right?
True.
And there are endless network marketing opportunities that have to do with food.
It's true.
Who knows? Maybe you could like, I don't know if Tupperware still is a network marketing company.
I don't know either.
Wouldn't it be fun if it was? You could like bring Tupperware back. You could be like Tupperware's #1 rep.
Oh gosh, yeah. My partner's really into Tupperware. I mean, not the brand, but she's got an extensive collection.
Well, maybe that's a place to start. Tupperware, that's the next big thing.
Yeah.
But do you see what I'm saying is that if you're dedicated to teaching people healthy vegan cooking and you're also using ionized water and you feature pouring the water from the ionizer every time you live stream and really making a big deal about it. You're like, wow, this water tastes really good today. Like it makes me feel great every time I take a sip, you know? So have you ever made oatmeal cookies with Kangen water?
Right.
You know, probably not. Like not only that, but like you could have your recipe book would be in and of itself a call booking system. Like people could opt in for a webinar, get your recipe book for free, and like have links throughout the recipe book to go book a call to find out more about how to make money with perfect water.
Yeah, no, that's a really good idea.
Right. So but it's a good idea, but the ideas are only as good as your commitment to them.
Right. Yeah. I started
my idea. It's not your idea.
Moving into that path of doing the cooking videos, and I made the whole recipe book with 365 recipes.
Yeah. Like what happened with all that?
The more I moved into that, the more it was just like, I do not want to do this.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, that's important.
It was just like every time I made a meal, having the ring light like mounted in front of me and trying to chop vegetables in front and make a big video. Like sometimes I just wanted to make lunch and not make a big production out of it.
Okay.
Yeah. And ultimately it's something I love to do, but it's not my passion. It's not my purpose to share with the world. It's
right.
Like, I don't know.
Right,
there's right. And it was like, something that I could put my creativity into at a time when I was otherwise creatively blocked.
Right.
And that felt good. But since then, I've had my creative expansion and removal of my creative block where I'm able to make my art now. And I feel like that's actually like my purpose of and where my creativity flow needs to go.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, so, whatever, meditate on that.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, imposter syndrome isn't such a big deal if you're doing something that's actually in alignment with who you are and what's important to you. Okay, like that's really what it comes down to. If you're experiencing imposter syndrome, chances are good that you're not doing the right stuff, that you're not actually helping people in a way that really genuinely matters to you and that you actually believe in. And I've gone through many phases of being like, what the heck am I doing next? Like lulls, like wild successes and then like flatline for a while. And it's interesting, it's really interesting. And what you focus on and how you're focused on helping with people might stay the same for decades, and it might change more often than that, but if you know how to give a really good massage and somebody needs a massage, like give them a massage, you know what I mean? Unless it's weird or something, like, right. And so it's kind of like that's an example of a skill that you can always use to help somebody reduce stress. Right. And so, you can also seek out skills and intention. Like, I mean, you're continuing to get better at high ticket sales, for example. And so constantly watching videos about high ticket sales, learning new techniques about high ticket sales, trying new things with high ticket sales, and then sharing with people what you're learning and what is and isn't working, high points, is a great way,
Yep.
so for example, an awesome content oriented video that you could create would be everything that I've learned about high ticket sales so far. Right? Hey, my name's Eric. I sell Kagan ionizers and the Kagan opportunity. It's usually between a $5,000 and a $15,000 purchase. I've sold a bunch of them over the years, and I've gone through 3 trainings about high ticket sales. One was in this situation, one was in that situation, and one is more recently. I'm going through a course by Kevin Nations. And right. Here are some of the key elements that I've learned that have worked for me when, as I've implemented them over the years, number 1, number 2, whatever.
Yep.
Like that's really helpful and beneficial. So I would say,
yeah, I like that. Yeah.
Talk about what you're learning as you're doing it,
right. No, yeah, I need to do more of that.
Like one thing that you can do, dude, to make this easier on you is like, have your daily email / daily post be about what we talked about on the Get Shit Done show. For now, you don't have to.
That's a good idea.
It's like it gives you something that you can talk about immediately after we finish broadcasting.
Exactly.
Right.
And I could link it to the show, maybe even.
You totally can link it to the show, and like. Over time, we build it out. We'll have an affiliate program, I'm sure, and you could then like start making money as an affiliate by promoting it, which would be even better. And then over time, maybe sometimes you write about what happened on the Get Shit Done show and an insight that you had or a comment that came in, or maybe you're going to talk about Johnny Scoville jumping in and his comment that he made. Maybe that's the topic of the email. You can use what's going on in your life as the reason to stay in touch with your people, right? And the reason to share the nuggets. So like share your journey in real time with them as well.
Okay. Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
Rather than trying to pretend that you've achieved a level of success that's higher than what you've achieved.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Right. And so that's when the imposter syndrome kicks in.
Okay. Another element that I was contemplating as we were talking about imposter syndrome that I've experienced is like, even when it's in an area that is deeply aligned with my purpose and my passions, I feel like imposter syndrome can crop up at times when there's an area of whatever that is. I mean, in my case, I'm thinking about like my art. That's like really deeply aligned with my purpose and passion. And yet there's areas of like, I'm doing something new and big with it, like bigger than I've ever thought about doing with it. And it's like a area of expansive growth, and we don't know what's going to happen. And I haven't
I don't know.
Oh, you don't know? Okay, so I'm saying like, even when there's an area that you're really deeply aligned with, when you're moving into where there's an area of growth outside of your comfort zone, imposter syndrome can show up, or it's shown up for me.
How?
I'm trying to do this big, huge thing with something that I'm deeply aligned with. Can I really do it?
What's the big, huge thing?
In my case, it's marketing my art to highly successful people at premium prices.
Great. What price?
Minimum of $10,000 and upwards. Yeah.
So you're trying to sell $10,000 paintings.
Yeah.
Okay. Just to simplify. All right. I get upwards, but like, let's start there. So step 1 is you don't know how to sell $10,000 paintings yet, at least not experientially, right?
Not experientially, right?
So far, you've not yet sold a $10,000 painting, right? our mutual acquaintance Ori recently sold a $30,000 painting, right?
Right.
So and so if you don't know, so you want to sell $10,000 paintings, but your customer doesn't really want you to sell like the $10,000 customer maybe wants to buy a $10,000 painting, but only if they feel like it's worth it. Right. And hope
Right.
I'm proud either that the content is going to be worth it, that they love your work so much that they want it, they want a commission or whatever, or your work is valuable enough that it's like, oh, if I spend 10 grand on this, it's going to be worth 50 grand in a few years when this guy pops. Right.
Exactly.
So if you want to sell $10,000 paintings, step one is like read every book there is about selling $10,000 paintings, do those things, and promote yourself doing the things. So it's not always appropriate. Like if you're an artist, you're not like, hi, my name's Eric Oliver, and my goal is to sell $10,000 paintings. Who wants to buy one? No, that's not how you sell a $10,000.
Yeah,
painting.
no, that's not how I've been going about it either.
Right. But what I'm saying is that the process that you go through is the part that you're going to broadcast. So like paint every day and live stream it and learn how to communicate to and with people that are going to spend $10,000 on a painting. Learn how to write copy to sell paintings and to sell in the art community. Learn how to monetize other ways as you're learning how to sell high ticket paintings, or the painting, high ticket for what you've ever sold paintings for. And so, yes, that's the financial goal, but outside of selling the paintings, oh, hey, Glenn, good to see you too. Glenn chimes in.
Hey.
It's basically like, dude, if you want to sell $10,000 paintings, then paint more in public. It's like make sure get more people to see your paintings. Whether it's like do a giant mural in Houston, like get a commission. Like you want people to see your paintings, go like get yourself a giant mural commission from the city or something. Right. Like operate on a bigger scale and then live stream about it every day. You don't need so you already know that you're a painter and you're already like painting and creating art. So do you have imposter syndrome around being an artist?
No.
But you've yet to sell a $10,000 painting. So
right. Yeah, I guess it's just on the marketing end of it. It's like, it's a growth edge. It's out of my comfort zone and it's something that I'm leaning into. And yeah, it's a little scary. It's like putting yourself out there in a way that, putting myself out there in a way that I haven't done before. Well, I mean, I've done it now, but like prior to starting to put myself out there, I had never done it before and it was terrifying.
Yeah. Well, so then, and the two, I mean, there are lots of different ways you can do this, right? You can either just freestyle it and figure it out on your own and trial and error.
Yeah.
You're kind of, no matter what, you're kind of doing that anyway.
Sure.
Or you can take a course or a coaching program and implement it. Or you can find examples of other artists who are selling a similar type of artwork at a similar price and emulate them. Do more of what they're doing. Follow them on all the socials. Get on their email list. Buy whatever stuff you can afford by them. And see how they are selling $10,000 paintings and get on like 10 or 20 or 30 or 50 or 100 different people's like list and socials that are selling stuff up at that level, and pay attention to how they're promoting themselves, and then try those things and see if it works. So this isn't about like whether or not your art's worth $10,000.
Right.
This is about whether or not you try different ways of selling your art at that price point. And you might find that your art doesn't sell at $10,000. You might find that it only sells at $50,000, or maybe it only sells at $1,000. I'm not I don't decide that, right? You don't, I mean, you can decide that to a certain degree as an artist, but at the end of the day, the customers are really deciding.
Sure.
And so you can try creating different types of art and doing different types of marketing about it based on what you learn from other people or observe from other people. But think about it as you're a scientist running an experiment, and you're doing your best to like mix the things together based on observation and see if it works. That's it.
Yeah.
It's a test. See if it works.
It is. Yeah.
Every single time. So that helps with the imposter syndrome, is to realize that like even the most successful people in the world at your thing are also just running tests all the time.
Right.
Like they don't know if it's going to work either. But the more tests you run, the more experience you get, generally, the more often you connect. Yeah, experience definitely helps you run better experiments. Right?
True. Yep.
Cool. All right, dude, we've been talking for 1 hour, 11 minutes, and 18 seconds. You want to talk a little bit about the Pure Path to Prosperity?
Yeah, let's do it. So I created this Facebook group, Pure Path to Prosperity. The link is in the description below this video. And inside this group, we're talking about all things network marketing leading to prosperity in your life. I'm going to be, as we discussed in this show today, I'm going to be incorporating more content to help you create more content, how to create short form video to promote your stuff, how to create live streams to get over your fear of live streaming, and basic framework of how to do it effectively. And yeah, all things content to promote yourself. I'm going to be talking about that in Pure Path to Prosperity. And I'm running webinars in there. So be sure and join the Facebook group and stay tuned, because I'm going to be doing, I've done my first 2 and there's going to be more. So keep your eye on the group, and I'm going to be teaching all about the opportunity with Kangen water. It's high ticket sales opportunity and how you can use that to create a lot of prosperity in your life.
Sweet. Awesome.
Yep.
So guys, go check out the Pure Path to Prosperity. There is the link in the PS of the comments, or PS of the description, or you can look it up on Facebook. If you're enjoying the Get Shit Done show, this is episode 38, and we do the Get Shit Done show every day, 7 days a week, since the first of the year. And you can go to getshitdone.com if you want to join our productivity cult for entrepreneurs. We train entrepreneurs just like you to overcome procrastination, to eliminate overwhelm, to focus and follow through like never before. We train you to become exponentially more productive through practice. So if that sounds good to you and you want to be around a supportive group of growth-oriented entrepreneurs who want you to win, then come join us at getshitdone.com. We do weekly work parties. There's a bunch of awesome hypnosis sessions in there. Super good community of people who are very growth oriented, and we'd love to see you inside. So if you love the show, you're going to love the community even more. Let's see. We have another comment here. Glenn says, love it. Awesome, Glenn. We'd love to see you in there. Great. Thanks so much for being here and commenting. Super. Awesome, Eric. Well, thank you for being here for episode 38. Really good to see you, as always.
Likewise. Yeah, thank you. And thank you guys for tuning in.
That's it. Super good. Super good. All right, Eric, you know what time it is?
time to get shit done.
It's time to get shit done. All right. Have an awesome day, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow. Over and out.
Bye.